I was voting, you know, I was rooting for the Taurus up here, but
in.
let me down, guys.
Trust me, I am dealing with it.
Yeah. But you're a Capricorn, so you're another Earth sign. So you're
Just,
part of the
just stick to the
conspiracy.
facts, Tony. Just stick to the facts. I have one final question for you too. There's discussion of new signs that are being discovered. Is it officious? Is that how we're pronouncing it? Signs of what? What's that? What's going on there? I mean, because after
Those are constellations.
thousands of years, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh.
No, actually, the guy that came up with that's an old story. But you know, you can take an old story and repackage it. It's like old news. In this particular case, Ophiuchus, it's a constellation. There is a branch of astrology called sidereal. The kind of astrology I was talking about that is more seasonal based as opposed to constellation based, they call it tropical astrology, seasonal astrology. Whereas there's a whole branch of astrology known as sidereal, meaning that it does take into account about a 30-degree discrepancy where they're moving through those constellations. Ophiuchus does, as a constellation, squeeze in there between, I believe it's Pisces and Sagittarius. And there's this one area where I think Ophiuchus's foot is sticking into the zodiac, if you're looking at it from that standpoint. But you know, siderealists and also Vedic astrology, I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, it's Hindu astrology. It's another completely different branch. They do look at those constellations, but what he was talking about were constellations, and he really wasn't talking about signs. And there is a big difference, again, between the tropical signs. And Ophiuchus, it just really does. It was kind of a non-issue when that news thing came out a couple of years ago. But astrologers were going, what? Like, where did this, what? Ophiuchus? You know, where did they, and it was just the fact that installations, if the ecliptic, which is the circle of the zodiac, if those were accurate, and we were using a constellation-based thing, then yeah, maybe we'd have to squeeze it in there. But it was interesting because it really caused a lot of people started getting really worried. Oh, this isn't, I mean, I've had people say, gosh, I've been a Taurus my whole life, and now I'm a Gemini. It's like, no, not really, you know, I mean, maybe if you want to, you know. So, yeah, the Ophiuchus thing, I don't want to say it's a red herring, but it was kind of old news, and they made it new news simply by, having this guy, brings this out, and he just got on the media thing, and the media was like, oh, all a flurry. But it was really weird, too, because I had people that know better.